I am Lilly Hubert, and I was born in 1934 in Yaroslav, where my father's family was. It was a fortunate situation that we wound up in Siberia, in cattle trains, riding weeks and weeks on this train. Hygiene was poor, no food. My parents got lost and did not make back to the train because they were looking for food. I was crying. And
on the train?
yes, begging. My parents are not here.
Who did they leave you with?
Nobody, because they just went down to get food. And they couldn't. They found some food, but they lost the train. We were reunited again. Somehow my parents found me. I have no idea how they found me. We got to Siberia cold and hungry and exhausted.
Do you remember what time of year it was? Was it winter? Was it summer?
It was winter.
It was winter.
And we had been put in a barrack with many other people. We were left on cots, wooden cots, very hard. And this is how we were sleeping. We were prisoners. And prisoners was treated quite differently, very harshly. There was 6 weeks no light. There was no daylight. There was snow all over. My parents were devastated. They had very hard work, hard labor. My mother wound up eventually in the hospital. I was left alone again. I was left alone all the time because they went to hard labor. But my mother in the hospital was another story. I was quite disturbed about that and upset. So I cried, and then I had some little friends that I liked, and I gave them away my cookies that I should have. But I liked them so much, I always gave. And I learned that from my father. Very much philanthropic person and well known in town and very much liked. My poor father was killed in a car accident, not a hit and run. And I have never gotten over it. It has affected my whole life. I overheard that my grandfather, my father's father, was coming to live with us. And I was overjoyed. I was so happy that grandfather is coming. And I waited and waited for him to arrive. And he didn't arrive, and we got very worried. And soon later, the Russian guy with the carriage arrived without my grandfather. And my grandfather fell off the carriage and froze to his death. I cannot have the words to describe how I felt about my grandpa losing his life in vain because of negligence. They finally brought my grandpa to our barrack. And I, from my bed, could see him fully. But I was so young, he's not moving. Why isn't he moving? And all night I was quite disturbed to be there with my grandpa not moving. We traveled, but we settled in Turkestan in a small hut. Food was very rare. You couldn't really get it even for money. Well, my mother decided that I should go to get some food in the orphanage. In an orphanage. That destroyed me. I couldn't believe that I am going to orphanage. I then proceeded to plan to run at night, to get dressed and run. And run back to where my parents were. I was beaten by Kazakhs on the road. This was all night that I was running.
How did you know where to go?
I knew. I knew. That's something that I cannot imagine. But somehow I knew. Because I was taken out from my parents. I had to remember where I am, where I'm going. And my life, when I came back, was very, very sad because my mom did not greet me properly. She said, I have to go back to where I came from. I was totally shocked. But my father, next morning, took me back. However, the management, the director of the orphanage, came over and told my father that I am not able to stay there. I cannot cry every night and not eat and be devastated. He will give me enough food to take home once a week to come back. That was a miracle, real miracle. The war ended and we went back to Poland. I am strong because this is my nature, not because what I experienced in Siberia, all over, it takes a lot of strength. So I had to be strong as a child, to be alone, to be left, to be all over the place. I had to be born strong. I'm sorry about that. That is not, you don't learn how to be strong. You either have it or you don't have it. Because if you're strong, you have courage. one leads to the other. And I believe that my strength has carried me through years of total loss. Yes, I am still here, fighting to survive and looking for every day what the future will bring, maybe something good. I never look what's going to be dark. It's going to be light. That's how I survive. But I survived, as you see, because I'm a survivor.